All right, trailblazers, let's take a step back in time and dive into the lives of some of the most brilliant mathematicians in history. Spoiler alert, genius doesn't always mean a smooth ride. But don't worry, their struggles made math better for us, and we'll end on a hopeful note. Because even when life gets challenging, these minds shape the world. Let's kick it off with Archimedes from 250 BC, a man with a mind as sharp as his inventions. Archimedes was a brilliant mathematician, physicist, and engineer, known for his extraordinary ability to solve problems with creativity and precision. But here's something that weighed on him throughout his life. He wasn't just creating math theories, he was also inventing machines of war. Living in the city of Syracuse during times of conflict with Rome, he was pressured by his leaders to design defenses like giant catapults, cranes to overturn enemy ships, and devices that terrified opponents on sight. Archimedes likely struggled with using his genius for destruction. Imagine creating machines that saved your city, yet knowing they were also lethal. An inventor's pride mixed with a philosopher's burden. In the end, when Syracuse fell to the Romans, his own inventions might have signed his fate. He was killed by a Roman soldier, despite his focus at that moment being on a mathematical problem. It's as if the very tools he created to protect his people contributed, in a twist of irony, to his own end. Yet his discoveries, like the foundations of calculus and physics, outlasted the weapons he designed, impacting the world in ways he probably would have hoped for.
Greatness for Archimedes wasn't diminished by conflict, it was shaped by it. Now, on to Hypatia of Alexandria from 400 AD, a brilliant mathematician, philosopher, and astronomer whose intellect made her a respected figure in Alexandria. Hypatia was admired for her sharp mind, fair judgments, and ability to bridge different fields of study, but her position was dangerous. She lived during a time when Alexandria was divided by political and religious tensions between the city's Christian and pagan communities. Her friendship with Orestes, the Roman governor, made her a target for radical followers of Cyril, the Christian bishop of Alexandria, who saw her influence as a threat. In 415 AD, Hypatia's life ended tragically. A mob of Cyril's followers, furious with her influence and her association with Orestes, attacked her while she was traveling in her chariot. They dragged her from her vehicle to a church, where they brutally killed her. Hypatia's death marked a turning point, symbolizing the tension between intellectual freedom and rising extremism and the decline of Alexandria's role as an intellectual hub. But her legacy as a pioneering woman in mathematics, philosophy, and astronomy endures, showing that knowledge can outlast even the darkest times.
Greatness for Hypatia wasn't silenced by violence, it was emboldened by it. Next, we meet Évariste Galois from 1820, a passionate and fearless young mathematician who led a life as intense as his ideas. By his early 20s, Galois had already developed group theory, a new field that would become crucial to modern algebra. But Galois was also involved in political activism. He was a strong supporter of the Republican cause in a divided France, and this didn't sit well with those in power. His revolutionary ideas extended beyond math and put him in constant danger. In 1832, Galois became entangled in a love triangle, or perhaps a political dispute, historians still debated, which led to a duel. The night before, he stayed up writing feverish notes to his friends and scribbling down mathematical ideas, as if he knew he wouldn't make it through the next day. He even wrote, "I have no time," in the margins of his work. Tragically, Galois was shot in the abdomen during the duel and left on the field. Although he was later found and taken to a hospital, he died from his injuries the next day, just 20 years old. His death left his work unfinished, but the manuscripts he left behind became the foundation for major developments in algebra and number theory.
Greatness for Galois wasn't defeated by risk, it was forged through it.
And finally, we reach Srinivasa Ramanujan, 1900, a self-taught mathematical genius from India. Ramanujan's mind saw patterns and possibilities others couldn't even dream of, and he made remarkable discoveries in number theory, infinite series, and continued fractions. But his journey was anything but easy. Moving from warm India to cold, rainy England, he faced a different kind of challenge. He struggled with the climate, unfamiliar food, and a lack of nutrients that worsened his health. Ramanujan contracted tuberculosis and severe vitamin deficiencies, and despite returning to India to recover, he passed away at just 32. Yet, his work left an impact so deep that we're still discovering and marveling at his theorems today.
Greatness, for Ramanujan, wasn't weakened by hardship, it was refined by it. So, what's the takeaway here? Yes, the lives of these mathematicians were full of challenges, personal, political, and academic, but their brilliance shines on. Every difficult situation they faced led to discoveries that we still benefit from today. The moral of the story: challenges don't stop greatness. They sometimes forge it. And who knows, maybe your next math problem won't feel quite as demanding. After all, you won't have to fend off Romans, write equations before a duel, or face political mobs for being brilliant.